What's up YouTube, it's your boy Crafty and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. So before we get into today's video guys, same as usual, if you like it, stick a big old thumbs up on the video for me, and if you're new around here, please subscribe. And it is a conversational Road to Glory guys, so leave your comments down in the comment section below. I'll address them in any video you watch and then we can get a discussion going, which will be nice. So stick those comments down below, any questions you want to ask, any points you want to talk about, bring them up. So guys, we're going to get into today's video, and today we're talking FUT Champions tips. So I wanted to give you guys some tips and just some tricks and little hints and little things that I've learned as I've played the game to help you progress and win more games. Now, if you finish Gold 1 or better, then you're probably not going to want to listen to me, because that's generally what I finish. I'm always seem to be now between Gold 1 and Elite, somewhere in between those brackets. So if you're better than that, then you're not going to want to listen to me. But if you're struggling to win games, or you're struggling to get better and win more games each weekend, then this video will be for you. So guys, let's get into it. So the first one I'm going to start with is variety in your gameplay. So I think this year especially, you need variety. So many people I come up against in FUT Champs basically run the same kind of little trick that they use. So they might kind of play it in between their two strikers and just wait for the little run, play a little through ball. If you're going to do that for 90 minutes, your opponent's just going to read you. So you need to have some variety. Play it out wide. Don't use the same skill move all the time. Just mix up your play as much as possible, because what's going to happen then in turn is your opponent doesn't know what you're going to do next. So he may be expecting a fake shot or a cut inside, and you may go around the outside. Bang, there's your opportunity. See, he expected me to cut inside there. I didn't cut inside, I kind of stayed on the outside. I dummied to go inside and I fooled him. So you've got to mix up your gameplay as much as possible and keep your opponent guessing, because if they don't know what you're going to do next, it's really hard to defend. So yeah, I couldn't like advise that enough. I mix up my gameplay so much, and just I know all the strengths and things that work, and use a variety of those things to kind of outwit my opponent. So that's tip number one, and definitely something you should follow. The next thing is finding a formation. So do you like to play out wide? Do you like to play through the centre? Find a formation that works for you. Do you like to play defensively? You might want to set up with a defensive formation. I would then in turn stick with that formation as much as you can. But if it's not working for you, then it might be worth trying something else. I'm a massive fan of the Cam this year, because he seems to find a lot of space and he can feed that striker a lot better than another striker or your midfielders can. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of Cams this year, hence why I go for the 4-3-3-4. But I also like to play wide as well, so that's why I use that formation and have the wingers. So find a formation that suits and stick with it and try it. However, if something's not working in game, if you feel that you play a lot out wide, but he's closing you down out wide, winning the ball back every time, then change it in game, because if it's not working for you, it's going to continue not to work for you. So do something about it. Don't just keep getting battered and not creating any chances. Change the game. Change the formation in game. It doesn't always work, but it does work for me a lot. So if I feel like my opponent's quite weak through the middle, then I will change to a 4-1-2-1-2, the narrow with the Cam. And I tend to do that. If I'm not having any joy out wide, there's a reason for that. So it may be a formation or his tactics that he's using. So find a way or a formation, like a backup formation that you can change to. So if you like to play out wide, find a narrow formation you like as well. And then if things aren't going well for you, then switch to that one. I tend to do it as well, say, for example, if I'm losing 1-0. My door just creepily opening then. So yeah, say if I'm losing 1-0, we're in the 60th minute, then sometimes I feel like, right, I haven't created a decent enough chance yet, then it's time to change formation. If you're losing or if you're not playing well, if you don't do anything to change it, you're going to continue doing that. So that's a massive tip for you guys. Now, the other, like a big tip for you is finding things that work within the game. So things that are overpowered this year. So shielding's massively overpowered. The low driven shot is massively overpowered. The finesse shots into the top corners are massively overpowered if you're on the same side. Across the body, long shots are overpowered this year. So find different things, certain skill moves. You want to find out all these, what works in the game, and manipulate them to the best of your ability. Don't just shield and not move as well, especially with shielding. I find a lot of people just shield and you can just run around. You've got to move with your defender to keep him blocked off. But sometimes with shielding as well, you can kind of do a little dummy. So you'll go one way, so the defender moves, you can then turn the other way and pop a shot off. Definitely something I like doing. But yeah, I mean, don't just shield constantly. But if you're under pressure, shield the ball, hold the ball. There's no point trying to play out of a situation when there's 3 players tracking you down. Hold it off, wait for the gap, then play. So definitely something that's massively overpowered. Across the body shots can be. Again, if you're struggling, as you see there, as he scores across the body, driven shot. If you're struggling for whatever reason, go into the skill games and have a go there and practice your shooting. You'll definitely find yourself a better player. I tend to do that. I'm not the best at the low driven shot. I tend to put it wide quite a lot, but it's definitely something I've been trying to learn and get better at, because it's crazy some of the angles you can score goals with. So that's a big tip for you guys. If you're not a skiller, I'm not a massive skiller, but learn a few skill moves because they'll definitely help you out. The ball roll is really easy and really effective. So learn as many skill moves as you can. They don't have to be the most complicated 5-star skills, but just learn a few 3-star and 4-star skill moves. They'll definitely help you in situations, and again, building some variety up to your play. Now, don't use them all the time. Keep your opponent guessing. If you're just going to continue to use the same skill move, then he's going to know exactly what you're going to do in any given time. So use them sparingly. I like to kind of use them like out of the blue, so I may not have skilled for the first sort of 60 minutes of the game, and then I'm in a situation where if I had been using the same skill move throughout, he would read me, but he hadn't, because again, I'm just doing something that he hasn't seen before, so he wasn't expecting it. So definitely bring some skill moves into your game. There's plenty of videos out there explaining different skill moves, and again, go and practice in the skill games or in the arena where you can practice that. And always remember, skill moves are always based on the orientation that you're facing. So it could be up and down or right and left. So it's always to do with the way you're facing. So go definitely learn some skill moves. That's really going to help. Another tip I want to get into is your work rates. So there's certain work rates in certain areas that work best. There's no point having anyone in your midfield with a low defensive work rate unless they're a cam, because what you're going to find is they're just going to let players walk past them. I think the best two work rates for centre midfielders is high work rates and medium high. High medium. So high defensive and medium attacking, because what they tend to do is always stay back, but they get enough, but they always delay their runs a little bit. So you've always got an option coming up, which is really nice. Again, with your strikers, generally high. I mean, I use Lacazette a lot, but because he's got high, he comes back too far, and I've got no option up top a lot of the time. So you really want someone like a medium low or a high low or a high medium. You want definitely high attacking and as lower defensive work rates, especially if you're just playing one striker. So definitely a good bit of advice for you there. Wingers, I would say you want, again, something high, because you want them to stay up the pitch. Medium's acceptable, but I wouldn't go for anything less than that. Some wingers have like high defensive and medium attacking. That's no good for you either. So yeah, definitely check work rates out of players players like Nine Gerlin that you see on the screen here, he's a beast for a reason, because he's got those high attacking work rates, and he's got the stats that complement a player like that. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He can make tackles, he can score goals, he can pass, he can do pretty much anything. So find those players within your game to do that for you. Chemistry styles. So many teams as well I come up against, and people haven't got the right chemistry styles on. They've got hunters on people with 97 pace, and there's just, you're wasting stats, so there's no need to do that. So yeah, chemistry styles, use them. They do work. They do make a big difference. I'd say on your defence, anyone with less than 77 pace as their stat on their card, you're going to need a shadow card on them to really boost their pace. But again, if you're boosting their pace and defending, you got to look at the other card stats, because they may have really low physical, and that's not going to be good. So that may be not a player that you don't use. So chemistry styles are brilliant. Use them where possible. They're quite expensive, the hunter ones and the shadow ones. All the pace ones are reasonably expensive. But what I'd suggest you doing as well is look at your players' in-game stats. So look, go to FUTBin or FUThead or FUTWiz, I think, as well. And basically, you can just type in the player, you click on the stats, and it's all there for you. So it'll give you an overview. So someone may have 85 pace, but they may have 75 pace, but 85 acceleration. And basically, they could feel slower than they actually are. So make sure you go check the stats out, because sometimes it will explain reasons why you're not drawing a player. And yeah, basically, that's really going to help. That was a really nice goal he scored there from my opponent. He tricked me there. I wasn't expecting a backwards ball roll, but there we go. So there's the kind of tip for you. Have I got any more? Yes, I got some more tips for you. So what I would suggest doing is not getting frustrated. You have to keep a cool head in FUT Champs. I struggle a lot. The game doesn't always go your way, but the more you blame the game or blame the person or whatever it may be, it's going to affect you more. So just try and take a step back. If it means you have to take a break, go punch a wall or something ridiculous like that, and come back 10-20 minutes later when you've calmed down, definitely do it, because that's only going to help and improve your game. And you'll notice in your games you're lunging less, you won't bring your defence out as much. Now, one of the biggest tips when it comes to defending, you really need to defend with your midfielders, especially when playing with a formation like this. So in this circumstance, Pogba and Kante would be my defenders. So when he's coming on, I'll try and leave my back four where possible and bring those midfielders back to get in, to put tackles in. And then basically you've got your AI defending for you. I always think this is the best way of defending. The reason being is because you're not going to pull anyone out of position, and they can't play a quick 1-2 in behind your defence. So a bit like you can see there, the way he was defending. Obviously, he was defending with his defender. He didn't pull back a player in time, so it's quite easy for me to just play a ball in behind. So yeah, definitely look at using your midfield to defend. It's not always possible, but the more you defend with your defenders, the more you're going to bring them out of position. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. Also, switching in between your defenders, just be careful. And if you're ever unstuck, a massive thing that will help is flicking the right analog stick to the direction of the player you want to control. Sometimes it just glitches out and won't select the right one when you press L1 or LB. So use the right analog stick and you can flick to the player that you want. It may get you out of a tricky situation every now and then, and that will really help you with your defending also. So yeah, we're coming towards the end of the video, and I mean I could probably go on about tips and tricks and things like that. So like I said earlier, if you've got any questions for me, stick them down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to try and answer them and help you in any way I can to gain the odd win. What I would also, I tend to find with the auto switching is that sometimes it's always not that responsive. So again, use that right analog stick. It will really help you select that player. So as you can see here, guys, just sort of talk a little bit about our FUT Champs gameplay from the weekend. So these were the middle games that we were playing here, and lucky for us, we went on a nice streak, but we also managed to miss the glitches and the disconnects that were happening on Saturday afternoon, I believe. So luckily we missed all that and it didn't affect us at all, which was nice. And they added an extra day because of it, which was nice. So getting an extra day to get FUT Champs in was pretty tidy. So as you can see here, we finished on 19 wins. 19 wins with 14 games remaining. So I think that's the best I've ever done for the first start of FUT Champ. So it was nice to kind of have those 14 games. I was really hoping to get Elite this week. Needed 10 wins from those 14, and the way we were playing, I really hope we was going to get there. I left the messages in, guys. I was really quiet this weekend for messages, which is strange, but like I said to you before, I'll keep all the messages I get in over the weekend so you can see what's going on. So yeah, currently it ranked gold 3, but we've got 14 games to go, so gold 1's definitely going to happen, but elite is on the cards, but we'll have to wait and see until we get it, guys. But that's going to be it for today's video. So if you have liked it, stick a big old thumbs up in the video for me. But until next time, guys, take care. Peace.